Tonight on FFX, the section finals are set and Kern is king of the valley. Bye-bye Buchanan. Liberty knocks off the Behemoth Bears during a rematch with a Fresno foe. Plus, we'll introduce you to Ladon the Destroyer. Here's Denmark wreaking havoc from the Rough Rider D.
Hey, sit up, go! That's it, let's go! Valley, baby! We're gonna get that ring! We're gonna get that ring!
Buckle up, because FFX is coming your way next.
This is the expanded edition of FFX with 17 Sports Director Taylor Shaw and football analyst, BC head coach R. Todd Littlejohn. Sponsored by Valley Strong Credit Union.
We need to get you one of those wrestler belts.
No, there's no doubt. But you know what? You stepped up your game. I like that. I love the intro.
Well, thank you. You know what? I thought it's the semifinal round, and we got to go through these great games. We have a great slate of games. We might as well have a great open to the show.
You're absolutely right.
And we've got a great first game to kick it off. But first, as always, I'm Taylor Schaub. This is R. Todd Littlejohn, head coach of the Bakersfield Renegades. And we're going to kick it off with the Bears-Pats trilogy. Top-ranked Buchanan was hosting Liberty. These two powerhouses have faced off in the past two D1 semifinals. Liberty took the first go-around in 2018. Buchanan bounced back, and look at the way they kicked off the game in style.
I like it. It's hard to go through that far, but he did it.
Yeah, they asked Brian Nixon if he wanted to fly in. He said, no, I'd rather take the bus. This is Carson Woods taking time, connecting with Luke Wattenberger, who makes his way in for the 17-yard score. Liberty can do it on the ground. They can do it in the air.
They have definitely shown, and I don't know, that pass right through that defender's arms was a great pass by Carson.
Yeah, we talked about it on Friday. This game went back and forth. That was Caden Rogers.
As I always say, special teams come up big, big, big.
Yeah, that was Jason Oliver. Good to see him get in the end zone there. Then it's Caden Rogers again. He kind of was the offense for Buchanan in this game. So now it's 14-14, and then it's Grant Austin. This guy has been a secret weapon for Liberty.
Yes, he has. And again, Liberty continues to find more and more playmakers as the playoffs have gone on. And there's another one right there.
All right, we're in the fourth right now. It's 21-14. Could Liberty hang on? No, Rogers again, 49 yards.
He was not going down easy at all.
There's a reason Buchanan is the top seed in the Valley. But Grant Austin, and they're going to hand the ball to him.
Uh-oh, you better watch out for Grant. There he goes.
Pushing his way through the defense. 28-21. The Patriots pull off the upset. They're heading to their second championship game in the past 3 years.
We beat them back in 2018. They beat us in 2019. They get a chance to play them in 2020. So we knew we had to come out here and show them who's really the top dog out here.
We always find a way to play big-time games with these guys, and so proud of our kids. We told them it was going to be a 48-minute battle, and it lived up to the billing. So I'm very proud of our kids, the way they played. They freaking battled their tails off.
So who are they going to face? Well, Central beat Memorial 23-7, so Liberty will travel to face the Grizzlies in a rematch of the 2019 Valley title game. That's going to be a great one. Now to a clash of two Bakersfield behemoths. After their regular season match was canceled due to COVID, Drillers interim head coach Rashawn Sheehy said it was fate that Frontier and BHS would meet, Coach.
There's no doubt, and two good teams playing really, really well at this point of the season, it was bound to happen.
All right, the Titans were playing in their first semifinal game since 2009, and they were hoping to pull off the upset against the second-ranked Drillers. But the Drillers would get the scoring started after a Frontier fumble. That's Ty Monterio. He was great last week.
Yeah, he was, and he found a way, obviously, to continue to play and not make mistakes, and found his way in the end zone.
All right, Frontier would counter at the end of the first half. That's Vincent Igoa. That guy's got a cannon.
He does. A little trickeration in there as well.
Love to see that. Devin Cochran, a 51-yard touchdown. Titans lead 7-6. Second quarter we go. You saw his arm. What about his legs?
Hey, again, escapability. He can make things happen. He did.
14-6. Titans with the lead. Could they hold on? No. Ty Monterio barreling his way in. And then it's Tybo time.
Yeah, there's that man.
He's a bad man, Coach.
He is a bad man.
A very bad man. Tybo was hurt in this game. Didn't matter because, well, when you have that kind of weapon on your team, it's hard to stop them for 4 quarters. This was the end. That was Vincent Igoa trying to make something happen. Dalen Leach intercepted him, and BHS plays in their first championship game since 2016.
We said it was going to be won in the trenches, and the game was won in the trenches. My guys dug down deep, you know, after a sluggish first half, and brought it to them.
Well, Coach, this is going to be a great matchup coming up. BHS Bullard.
The Drillers, it's good to see them rebound, and obviously they want to win this championship. It's got to go through Bullard.
It's going to be a great matchup. All right, winners of 7 straight. Few teams have cruised along as easily as the Eagles this postseason. Could they keep their D3 title defense alive? Well, BCHS was back on the road taking on an 8-4 Dinuba squad, and we're going to pick this thing up in the first quarter. That's Darren Carr right there. And the Eagles were down 7-0 early in this game. But then, Coach, we had a little special teams action.
Once again, special teams. People sleep on it, but I tell you, it's coming and beginning to be a big, big factor in the playoffs. That's
Bryson Waterman. This kid's an all-around athlete for the Eagles. Darren Carr loves him. He also loves his quarterback, Braden Waterman, who here is connecting with Bryson Waterman.
That connection, as we said before, they just continue to do some really, really good things in crucial situations.
Backyard football, you gotta love it. All right, this is Nathan Perez. He's fast.
Yes, he is. Great young man. We had a chance to meet a few weeks ago. Still being productive.
Scoring on that 4th down run. All right, it's 21-7 in this offense. Doing special things.
Yeah, hey, you remember Braden told us that like the Giants and the offense, everything that they learn.
Yep. When David Carr's your offensive coordinator, you can scheme up some great plays. All right, check this play out.
Oh, he got mossed. I love it. What a big-time play right there.
Dylan Johnson. Don't sleep on this guy. Don't sleep on Dylan Johnson. The offensive onslaught continues for BCHS. It would be Nathan Perez one more time. They would just keep scoring in this one. It's not fair to play this team. We say it week in, week out. BCHS wins 49-27.
I mean, we're brothers, man. You know, we got that brother-to-brother connection. You know, it's always kind of been there, and that's just kind of what we do. You know, he tells me, he's like, hey, I'm gonna be open, and I'm like, all right, then I'm gonna trust you, and I'm gonna throw it. So it's kind of just one of those things where it's just like, you know, you gotta be brothers to kind of have that connection.
Couldn't be prouder for the Watermans and their family. Everything that they've been through cancer, through ups and downs, man. They've hit it head on. They kept God first, and this is the byproduct of that.
So BCHS is going to face Central Valley Christian, but I want to talk about the Waterman brothers for a second. With everything that Braden went through with his cancer treatments, to come back, to step on the football field and do what he's done this season. I mean, we've talked to the kid a couple of times, but to be able to do that with your brother, how special is that?
I can imagine, I can't imagine how difficult it was. However, with his brother, I know the support, the relationship that they have, I'm sure it made it a little bit easier, but man, what a hats off to that young man and their family.
Just such a special story, and we hope the postseason run goes well past the Valley title game. All right, still to come, from pain to pleasure, Independence has flipped the script on their 2021 season. The Falcons soared to a section championship game, and we'll tell you how Indy dismantled the Rough Riders D when FFX returns.
FFX, Friday Football Extra, Kern County High School Football, sponsored by Valley Strong Credit Union.
Welcome back. Olympic icon Michael Phelps once said, "It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish." And I don't think a quote has ever summed up a team as much as that quote in the Independence Falcons, Coach.
There's no question. When you look at obviously where they started and where they're going now, they've been rolling.
Well, they were taking on the Rough Riders on Friday, and the Falcons kind of had their way with them. That's LaDon Denmark. He's a bad man, Coach.
He's a bad man.
All right, we're going to pick it up in the first, and we talked about it. LaDon Denmark, he was sneaking out our cameraman a little bit, but then he found his way to the end zone, and just like that, it was 7-0 Falcons. Roosevelt would tie it up right before half. Then Independence just took over. That's Evan Peeker. That's, I guess you would call it, the two-headed monster for the Falcons. Peeker and Denmark. Peeker's been phenomenal.
No doubt. You know, those two young men have continued to each week just get better and better and really feed off of one another.
Okay, now it's 21-7, and then Denmark just opening this game wide.
Great balance right there to go in for that score. He had a phenomenal night.
Yeah, he did. 4 touchdowns for Ladon Denmark. The celebration at Independence. They're going to a Valley title game. After starting the year with 6 straight losses, they've now won 7 straight.
These boys have worked their butts off from being 0-6 to being where we're at now. I mean, I think that was just a culmination of, you know, all the pain, all the pleasure that we've gotten from these last 6 weeks to really come together and make that happen. So, once again, it was very, very exciting to be a part of.
Across town, Highland was back home. A win against 13th-seeded Mendota would guarantee an all-Kern County section championship game. But the Aztecs had different plans. First quarter, Jacob Silva slings it out to Richard Saya, who does the rest. It's a 75-yard score. Mendota up 7-0. Then down 14 in the second quarter, the Scots offense finally wakes up. Jojo Mata airs it out to Manny Valeda, who drags a defender with him as he brings Highland within 8. Just before half, what do we have here? The Scots strip the ball out of Silva's hands, and the big man, Angel Cervantes, scores. 2-point conversion was good. Game tied at 14. Fast forward to the fourth, Aztecs would summon their Warriors' strength. Silva wills his way into the end zone, and Mendota takes it 34-28. The Aztecs will travel to Bakersfield for the 3rd straight week as Indy looks to win its 8th straight game. 15th-seeded Ridgeview had a shot to earn a D5 championship game berth after only winning 1 game in the regular season. Wolfpack battled both the Warriors and the Fog Friday. Rigetti was up early and often in this one. Elijah Martinez here splits the gap and cruises his way into the end zone for the score, and it's 7-0 in the first. The 3rd seed wouldn't let up. This time it's Abel McCormick who was able to take this QB keeper up the gut. Warriors win it 27-6. 200 miles away, there's a Bobcat sighting in the high desert. 4-seeded Boron hosting the Valley's other Liberty. Bobcats down 7 in the second until Braden Wolf hits DeMonte Hill with a heat-seeking missile. The senior finds nothing but daylight, and Liberty's lead is cut to 1. Hawks would respond right before half. Dominic Castaneda with plenty of room on the side. Liberty never looks back, and Boron's Valley title hopes are dashed. 20-6, the final. That means we'll have a non-Kern County D5 championship game. The Hawks will travel to the coast for a clash with Rigetti.
And after securing their first playoff victory since 2016, the top-ranked Taft Wildcats welcome the Woodlake Tigers to town for a little battle of the beasts. A win would give the D6 squad their first Valley title appearance since 2009. It was scoreless in the first until Jackson Berry finds Richard Jennings for the 23-yard score, and the crowd went wild. They actually blocked our cameraman for a second. And then, how about a little special teams action? Coach would love this. It's Jackson Berry taking it 93 yards to the house. Look at him, evade some defenders. No one can touch him. Again, the crowd standing up, and you should stand. Maybe take a bow for Jackson Berry. This guy is ridiculously good. Kind of is that offense. Then some defense. It's Jennings with the pick 6. Taft rolling in this game. I think they're going to win the D6 title. Let's take a look at the final score. 49-13. No one can stop these Taft Wildcats in the D6 playoffs. They reached their first section final since 2009. As for who they'll face, it's Morro Bay, who edged out their opponent this week, so Taft will host Morro Bay. Still to come, the section finals are set, and Kern's got a majority of the teams remaining. Coach and I will break down all the championship games after the break.
FFX Friday Football Extra, Kern County High School Football. Sponsored by Valley Strong Credit Union. Coach's Corner with Renegade head football coach R. Todd Littlejohn.
Don't be sad it's about to be gone. Be happy it happened. I'm talking about Coach's Corner because it's the final edition of the 2021 season, but we've got our Todd Littlejohn back in the seat, and we're going to ask him questions that nobody else gets the opportunity to. First off, I want to talk about the D1 Valley title game, the Patriots versus the Grizzlies. You know Brian Nixon well. How can Liberty go in and have their second straight upset?
Well, you know, one of the things that Coach Nixon has talked about is, and most coaches as well, minimizing mistakes, take care of the ball. And they got a lot of weapons, and I think they've gelled so well together. You can tell even at their practices, very intense practices, their preparation will be the key.
All right, let's go to BHS. They're taking on the 1 seed in Bullard. How can your Drillers win this game?
Well, of course, it starts and finishes with Tybo. You know, if he's healthy, and there's definitely not going to be 100%, but if his 80% is 100%, they're going to have a very strong chance because he does so much, energizes that team in general. And but their defense is playing very, very well. I know even Coach Sheehy said you got to win up front and on both sides of the ball, and that's something that can definitely help them in this final game.
They certainly won in the trenches on Friday. BCHS, Darren Carr's group, the Watermans. Can they pull it off against Central Valley Christian?
I think at this point, those two young men, they fueled that offense. They fueled the entire team. I'm sure he's personally taking it on his back. So, man, they're just playing really, really well at this point.
All right, Coach, I want to talk recruiting real quick. As you see, I got a Utah State helmet in my hand. This is from the late 90s when you were actually a part of that program. Now, you recruited our station general manager, Derek Jeffrey, so you kind of sat on both sides where now you're at the junior college level. You're trying to get these guys, get them in for 2 years, and then get them to a D1 program. Can you talk about why it's so important for these guys that don't have D1 offers to come to a JUCO like Bakersfield College?
Well, one of the things we've talked about and continue to stress, come to a competitive environment, get your feet wet, see what it's really about, see if there's something that you really want to do, because taking that step at that 4-year level is a lot different. It looks great on paper, it looks great on TV. There's a lot of work, a lot of expectations, and there's nothing to say that you have to be at our program for 2 years. You know, you can be for a semester if you're a qualifier. You can be for 3 semesters if you're a non-qualifier, which would entail 2 seasons. But we're creating and have created a 4-year environment. And so it would be great to add a lot of talented and great young men.
Okay, you didn't recruit Derek from BC. He was actually at Grossmont CC. I got to ask, what stood out about Derek Jeffrey, young blonde-haired Derek Jeffrey?
Well, you know, I actually coached receivers at that time. He was a playmaker, did a lot of great things in space. College football is a space game, and he showed that ability, you know, great, caught the ball with his hands, which is another big deal. And, yeah, it's kind of funny how that all happened, but nevertheless, and he was able to go there and played extremely well.
Small world, and we hope a lot of guys from this class come to BC and play for you with the Renegades. All right, ahead on FFX, they call him Dual Threat LaDon for a reason. How Indy's QB broke down the Rough Riders defense. And the FFX Awards commence next.
FFX, Friday Football Extra, Kern County High School Football. Sponsored by Valley Strong Credit Union. FFX, Friday Football Extra, Kern County High School Football. Sponsored by Jerry's Pizza and Pub.
Mixed emotion here for Trophy Time, Coach. It's our last play of the week, and we've got a great one. What a way to kick it off.
Wait till you see this. Wait till you see it.
That's a tease. It's BCHS, it's Dinuba, it's the D3 semifinal. Braden Waterman rolling out. This kid's got a cannon, and look at this catch.
You got Moss. That's like a big-time play right there.
Someone call ESPN. Dylan Johnson.
Yes.
Just went full Randy Moss.
Yes, he did. I mean, What a great play. Competitive right there. Great coverage. He just got mossed. There's nothing else you can say about that one.
So Dylan Johnson said to our photographer that we'd been sleeping on him. Not anymore, Dylan Johnson. You earned our play of the week. Now it's time for our player of the week. It's Ladon Denmark from the Independence Falcons. Ladon, you guys have won 7 straight games. You had 4 touchdowns this week. How are you feeling after that big-time win? And now you have the chance in your senior season to play for a Valley title.
Well, it feels great after the start we had. We started off not caring as much as we should have. Practices, the intensity weren't as high as it should have been.
Okay, more importantly, what's on your playlist before the game?
A lot of raw wave.
Okay. Now, is that something that you share with your teammates as well, or just you?
No, it's just me.
Okay.
You and Evan Peaker are very close, and you guys are kind of that two-headed monster for the Independence Falcons. For you guys to both be riding into a Valley title game in your senior seasons, how much does that mean?
It means a lot to both of us. We talked about it a lot. It's all thanks to our O-line for stepping up.
All right, Ladon, thank you so much. Now, of course, next week we're going to have our FFX awards, and Coach and I are so excited for this. We're going to honor the top student athletes across the Golden Empire. As always, it's going to air right after Sunday Night Football. Okay, that's going to do it for this 3rd postseason installment of FFX. Coach, some great games.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. Look forward to next weekend.
Yeah, the Valley title games are upon us. We'll have all of the highlights at 11:11 on Friday night. And if you want to rewatch any of the plays this week, just go to our website, kget.com, click on that FFX icon, and for up-to-the-minute prep football coverage, be sure to follow us on Twitter at FFX on KGET. That's going to do it for us tonight. Have a wonderful Sunday.